staying at. And I thought I would just give you a little look out the window. Pretty noisy birds going on. There's the ocean, pool, beach. Definitely good to be out of Vermont, where it was super cold when I left. So thank you all for tuning in. I know last time I said that today would be about creativity, but I don't want to get too predictable here. So I'm letting it kind of take its own course. Maybe we'll do creativity next time. But there's been sort of a pattern of flow that I've been observing in this process of being with you guys on Sunday. And also in the class that I taught a few weeks ago on guilt and shame, where I did a big adjustment in the hip to really help release those stuck energies. And where, in the Biofield anatomy, that's in the right hip. And so when energy releases from there, it travels up the right side of the body and come into the liver, which is anger. And that's what we talked about last time. And many people who did that guilt and shame class also had an experience of feeling really angry afterwards. And some people were mad at somebody else, and other people who maybe didn't have anybody else to be mad at got really mad at themselves. And, pretty strong feelings of self-loathing, rage. And so that was my experience. I spent 4 days being angry, which is something like I never do. And I just let it run its course. I didn't try to change it. I didn't try to fix it. I didn't get any tune-ups. I didn't do any sounding. Just kind of scientifically observed the process of going through that. And on day 4, I come back from the gym and I was sitting in my car, and I became aware, some of you have heard me talk about the posture of victimhood and how it's like kind of scrunched down in our left hip, and we're frustrated and disappointed over our unmet needs, and we're feeling powerless, and we're making somebody else a villain, right? And so that's that posture. But I became aware that I was all like jammed up in my diaphragm and then like over in my liver. I was collapsed in that area. And so I asked the universe, I'm like, okay, I'm feeling kind of ready to be done with this experience of anger. And what can I do? And I already shared this on Facebook, but I want to share this with you guys because I came up with something sort of like the rainbow at the end of the storm. That's was really transformative for me, like on the spot, and super, super useful when it comes to this whole idea of forgiveness. Because, you get angry, whether it's angry at yourself or angry at somebody else, like you can stay in that, but that's destructive and unhealthy. I think the natural evolution is for that to move up to the heart and into forgiveness and just release of that vibrational state gripping you. It's not healthy to live there. So what came to me, and I haven't added forks to this yet. I did add music. I turned it into a song the other day, which was kind of cool. But I'm going to explain it first, and then we can do it together. And maybe I'll throw some forks in the mix as well. Okay. So it's the Ho'oponopono prayer, and that it's 4 lines. And different people have different interpretations of this. Some people add lines, right? This is just the one that I was working with. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Right? And even as I'm saying that, my voice is like, because I can feel God's emotion and even my own, right? It's in there. Now, previously, I've used this prayer and found it helpful, but I used it, and I think many people use it, like kind of in the head. I'm sorry, please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Love you. Thank you. Right? And it can really help relieve a lot of ills. In fact, there was one time where I was doing it for somebody who actually should have been saying it to me, right? And what was so cool was that as I continued to say it, I felt their energy appear and be saying it to me, because we're, ultimately we're all one, right? And so even if the situation is flipped and you should be the one on the receiving end of the apology, it works that way too, which is super cool. Okay, So what came to me was to add a zone, and this comes from my work with the Body Electric, Sing the Body Electric with Isaac and Troll Corin. And one of these things that we came up with are that the body has 5 different zones to sound from. And so zone 1 is like down in the pelvic floor, like going all the way to the base, the tailbone area. Zone 2 is the belly, kind of like around your navel, the sort of belly, that Buddha belly that sticks out. Zone 3 is the heart. Zone 4 is the face. And zone 5 is the top of the head. So we just use the first 4 zones here. I do have a workshop coming up next weekend, February 11th and 12th, Sing the Body Electric, some of the most powerful work I've ever done. If you want to be free, having an embodied voice, right? We want to be not ashamed of our bodies and not ashamed of our voices, quite frankly. And that's freedom in a big way. I mean, there's other components, but I think especially for women, if you can get to a place where you have no shame around your body, you love your body, you're in a healthy, beautiful relationship with your body, and you feel the same way about your voice, then you're not being trapped by all that, nonsense noise. All right, here you're like, get to the thing, Eileen. Okay. So you breathe in and think, I'm sorry. Okay, you just think it while you're breathing in, and breathe it into zone 1, and you absolutely fill the lower belly as you're doing that. Okay, and then you exhale. So breathe in with the nose, exhale with the mouth, breathe out with an empty mind. And then the next one is, please forgive me, going into the belly, exhaling with an empty mind. I thank you. So you're thinking it with the inhale, and you're not thinking it on the exhale. And then I love you comes kind of up the throat and out the face. Okay, so hopefully everybody's got that. Maybe I'll go through it one more time. I'm sorry, down in zone 1. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Okay. And I'd recommend that you guys stand up for it. I'm not going to stand up because of the low table and whatever, but I think the best way to do this is to stand up. So before we do it, I want you to just take a moment, tune into your body, and just see how you're feeling right now. Just in this moment, what are you noticing about how you feel? What's your breath doing? How's your mood? Do you have any pain or discomfort anywhere? Right? Just take an assessment of that. Okay, I'm going to grab out a fork. Oh, which one? The 174. The birds are singing along here with me to tune you as well. Okay, so here we go. So the first one is, and we're just going to do one in each time. Okay, just one thought, one breath in each zone. I'm just going to kind of tone gently here in the background. All right, so here we go. Okay, next one is breathing in the belly. Please forgive me. Next one is in the heart. Thank you. Next one is in the face. I love you. And then take another breath or two with an empty mind. And then just drop a note. What did you notice? How did you feel? How did that very simple recitation of 4 lines with breath possibly shift your state? When I first did it, I could not believe how it blew out that obstruction that I was holding there. It just freaking blasted it out. And I felt upright. I felt my central channel. I felt radiant. I'm like, wow, this is really useful to turn this into a full body prayer, right? And I tried it both ways. I tried it, well, like what happens if you breathe in and then think it on the exhale? And that just made me feel deflated. I was like, So it's super important that you think it on the inhale as you're breathing in and you exhale with an empty mind. Okay, that is an important point. I tried it both ways. I didn't like the way the other way made me feel. All right, so super, super important. Okay, so I felt tingles in each stage, calmness, relax, powerful, immediate calm, right? And for me, that just kind of like it ended that whole anger experience. The other thing that I did was in Sing the Body Electric, we have these things called healing tonics, where we string together different Biofield anatomy or sonic anatomy sounds and into like a line, into like a little chord or a verse. And I came up with one of those as well, which was also like super good medicine. So I'm gonna share that one. I'm gonna share that one and Sing the Body Electric. But these healing tonics are super cool because once you have a sense of zones and tones and the way to combine them, it's like really working sonic magic within your body, right? And you add some forks in the mix, and you're like, oh, I'm coming in a resonance really quick here. And that's what I'm saying. Like healing is happening faster. It's just happening faster. And guys, when you heal, like getting over healing is just really going and having more fun. It's laughing more, it's singing more, it's dancing more, it's playing more. It just is, right? It's important to understand that when you start to feel healthy and more whole, you become more playful, you get back, right? I mean, you can certainly have more depths of compassion and more empathy and more intelligence and wisdom and all that stuff. You know, it isn't necessarily play, but as your spirit becomes more free and you revert back into your free self, like life wants to play. Right? Okay, and this life wants to eat. So I am going to sign off now. Feel free to share that. I'm so grateful to have been given the gift of that prayer with breath and body. And please feel free to use it. You don't need to credit me. It is a gift from God, and I'm so grateful to be able to share it. So thank you for tuning in. It's always great to catch you, even today, even though it's really short. I do plan on being back next Sunday. I will be in Ojai because that will be the Sing the Body Electric weekend. And I will be being very creative with my brothers. So there might be some inspiration around creativity next week. All right. Thank you all. Stay well.